Okay, the engine bay. The hood. This is aluminium, and it's aluminium on all M3 E46. Even before they made the CSL, they made it in aluminium, and it's quite light. On the CSL, they removed the sound and the heat insulation. This cover was all carbon in the CSL concept, but they left the standard material in the production car. Maybe they were afraid that it couldn't last long with engine heat and vibrations. Or maybe it was too difficult to manufacture both this shape and a long-lasting carbon part, and also keep the cost still reasonable for them. The engine, BMW put particular attention. They didn't simply engineer a faster engine. They didn't simply tune a standard M3 engine. They paid attention even choosing the components in the production line which came out in the best quality. You know that the engine block is normally cast iron. They paid attention to choose the cast part that came out from the casting line with perfect shape, no micro cracks inside. You know that the casting process is a bit rush. M3 engine is very reliable, maybe a part of the road bearings, but it's a strong engine. And even if not all engine blocks are equal, they are already very reliable and long-lasting. When they manufacture this car, they even pay more attention to this. They look at the perfect, they make a micro dimension, I don't know what they make exactly, but the part number of the short block is different from the standard M3, even if you can swap the engine. The head is ported in a different way. The exhaust valves are bigger. The camshafts are different. They have longer duration and same lift. The car has specific intake and exhaust. The exhaust manifold is dedicated to this car, and after 2003 was used on the normal M3 too. So my 2001 car does not have this. I had to buy it aftermarket. But what we like most is the intake system. It's not only carbon airbox, it's more. And it's not only sound, it's both sound and performance. Both things are specific and makes the CSL very enjoyable to drive, even when you just go to the supermarket, because I go to the supermarket with my CSL. My wife too. Everything starts from here, and also here. The air goes inside, goes this way, and okay, when you are cruising at lower speeds, the air goes in the airbox via the snorkel. It's a pipe that makes a strange way and goes inside the airbox from the side. You can see from here. Because normally, under that RPM, there is a flap inside the airbox which is closed. This flap is closed. It is actuated by this electrical engine. At 3,500, this actuates and opens the flap. So you hear better noise, and there is much more direct air flow going inside the engine. There is no MAF sensor to measure the quantity of the air that goes inside the engine, like most of cars. And the engine is tuned and engineered to calculate the amount of air that goes inside using the MAP sensor, the sensor that measures the pressure of the air inside the airbox. To do this, BMW asked help from their own Formula One engineers, and they manufacture an engine control unit that was 25% more calculation performance, memory. The processor was strong, 25% faster. So like an updated hardware computer. This is the filter. To change the filter, you have to pull out the strut bar, this half part of the airbox, and replace it. The airbox make not that easy to measure the oil level because there is no dipstick. There is a function in the instrument cluster that make possible to see the level. Otherwise, we have to pull out the airbox. The Evolve airbox, which I have on my other car, it's a bit smarter because they allow to bend the dipstick and you still retain this function in this point. This is plastic. I don't know for which reason. 50 grams lighter. 50 grams, maybe it's the weight of a cigarette, but they did. The brakes of the M3, I can't say that they were not okay, but they were floating caliper with single piston on each wheel. Its direct competitor, the Porsche 911, had multi-piston fixed calipers on all wheels since a few years at that time. So we could expect BMW in such a cool car to fit those brakes already. By the way, they made a huge improvement in the whole system, and you can easily find a brake upgrade for these cars. In fact, most of them have happy racing system that I already found mounted on the car since I bought it. Very powerful, very strong, the pedal is very firm, and the interesting thing is that they completely changed the whole braking system, the ABS, the brake pump, the servo unit, and the computer that controls the ABS. My M3 still have the old brake master cylinder, which has a little diameter in the rear, 20 millimeter piston inside. The CSL has 22. And the ABS unit, they changed the position of the ABS pump They remove from here and they put it here under the brake pump. And the most cool thing is that this was the first car on which you could upload on the ABS control unit a motorsport software to better handle the grip of the Michelin tires, which were developed together by BMW and Michelin to pull out the most of the performance from this car. Those tires, the Michelin Pilot Sport Cup, the tires were developed on this car, used to race for one season, and after that Porsche started using their tires. So Porsche have to say thank you to BMW. We will see a suspension later on from the underneath. They updated the suspension because the car weighs 150 kilograms less, so the whole behavior of the car is changed, and they fit SAX shock absorbers with different ratio, different springs, and many different components of the suspension that we will see better see underneath.